Your Excellency, Sheikh Ahmed, honored and delighted to meet you here. Thank you so much for receiving us today and during the last 3 days at the Doha Forum. I interviewed you last year at the Doha Forum 2012. You were very positive about the Doha Forum 2012 and ambitious for Doha Forum 2013. Had the Doha Forum 2013 met your expectations?
Yes, thank you very much. We did raise the bar this year for the Doha Forum 13. We created a platform for scholars, for economists, and for politicians to come and work together and try to find ways out of the dilemmas that's facing the whole world, financially, in terms of human rights, in terms of poverty and employment. So in the last 3 days, we were discussing all these issues, and we thought that this is the time to rethink the different ideologies when we are talking about capitalism or socialism. Both of these ideologies did not resolve human agonies and problems. So we have to look to a different ideologies. That to start with. Another thing that I have to add, that there are so many economic policies, fiscal policies and monetary policies that are not effective anymore. And we can see that there are so many unconfidence on what's going on, and so we are still facing the same problems as we were facing the last 3 years. So we have to review all of these policies in terms of ideologies, in terms of giving, as I mentioned, the venue for all economists and scholars and also politicians to find ways out of these problems. So it happens after World War II that there are some scholars like Keynes and Adam Smith, which they put forward their theories, and it has been implemented, and it solved so many problems at those times. Those theories are not applicable anymore. I have to reiterate, these are not applicable anymore. We have to find other theories and ways and policies to solve human agonies and problems. Not to mention, we have a humanitarian also crisis everywhere. And at this forum, we did insist that without dignity, human access, humanitarian access or relief is not adequate.
One of the former ministers of France I interviewed said that the Doha Forum is a center of intellectuals of the Middle East. We're very pleased, obviously, to see that today. Can you tell us what your plans are and how we can improve the Doha Forum for next year, 2014?
As I mentioned earlier, Doha Forum is the place where all the scholars and economists and the prominent figures will meet. We are emphasizing that this kind of forums should find solution to the different problems facing the world. With respect to the Davos Economic Forum, it's an Anglo-Saxon venue. Sometimes it might alienate some of the problems facing the south part of the world. In this world here, we are trying to bring north and south in way of taking advantage on success stories in the north and new initiatives coming from the south. I think we should not work on the Western model only. There are other models, and as you know, not all the norms and the regulations or policies that's been enacted in the north should be applied to the south. It's a different world here, it's a different culture, It's different ambitions, and we have to look into this in details and find a solution.
Very interesting points. And the last question, Doha Forum is becoming an international brand name. Very high profile figures were present in the last 3 days. Are you planning potentially to organize a Doha Forum elsewhere in the world?
Well, this is a good idea, but as you know, Doha is becoming the hub of so many initiatives. And I think we have to emphasize that Doha in the next coming years will be happy to assert this direction, and we are happy. As you know, we already are holding at the same time the Munich Security Conference, which is the first time also. It's a part of Doha Forum, and it's a wider range, but they have their own identity. And so we have to develop, we are in the process of developing this forum before we take it elsewhere.
Thank you very much, Excellency.